What's up, gang? Thanks for tuning into the channel. This over here is my Starlink Mini, which if you guys are needing internet on the go, on the run, these things are absolutely awesome. They work fantastic. Love it or hate it, I love having internet access, and this Starlink Mini is absolutely fantastic. This video is not about the Starlink Mini. This is about a product for the Starlink Mini. And the great thing about what's in this box, guys, it comes from a US company, a small company out in California. Luckily, I don't think they're being affected by the wildfires right now. They're up north, just east of Bakersfield. So if they are watching, guys, I hope you're being safe out there. But they did contact me and wanted to send me a mounting solution for the Starlink Mini. And of course, I said absolutely yes. So this came from Veritas Vans. And what they are an outfit, again, in California, and they specialize in outfitting these van life vans, these sprinter vans, the cabinetry, anything related to van life. These guys build custom DIY stuff for van life. So if you're in a van life situation, check them out. Their website looks pretty cool. But what this thing is, it's basically like a rooftop mount, a semi-permanent rooftop mount to store your Starlink Mini. And especially now that you can use these things while in motion, it's not a bad thing. Let's get everything unboxed and kind of show you how I think this is going to work. All right, so here's everything that you get in this specific kit. The pricing on this thing ranges from, I believe, around $79 to $179, depending on the mounting feet that you want to get. They went ahead and shipped me two so I could show them to you, but they come with either these really, really strong rare earth magnets to affix to your roof, or suction cup mounts. You get 4 of each, obviously. Comes with a DC to Starlink power cable adapter, so you can plug this in directly to your car if you want to power the Starlink on the go. And of course, you get the bracket that this thing's gonna fit in. When they shipped this out, they did not offer a cover that goes over the Starlink in case of inclement weather. With the kit now, if you do buy it, it does come with what they are calling a hail protector screen. So they shipped this to me separately, and it's essentially just comes with some directions, just a cover. I don't know what kind of material this is. Some type of plastic. Sorry, I don't know exactly what it's made out of, but it is extremely strong. So I'll show this when it gets all put together, but this is essentially just going to fit right over the top of the Starlink to protect it from, you know, if you get in a hailstorm, from actually damaging your Starlink. So let's get these boxes out of the way. And let me go ahead and get this Starlink set up in this mounting plate. And then we're gonna go see what it looks like on top of my truck. And I'll kind of go over and show you how these mounting feet go, and we'll go from there. So to start off with, you got to take this thing apart, and it does come with an included Allen key, but I like mine more. And of course, this is all stainless steel hardware. And the way that these pieces fit together is pretty unique. They call them puzzle pieces, and I'll show you kind of how they go together. It creates a really, really strong joint. It's not just two butt ends together. They actually look like a puzzle piece, which is pretty cool. So when you take the top off, you can see these joints are in the shape of like they call them a puzzle piece. So when you put this together, you actually get a pretty good solid joint that's really not gonna go anywhere. Even if one of these screws becomes loose or one of these bolts becomes loose, having that type of joint is really nice. Okay, actually you didn't have to do that. I didn't have to take it apart, but it's good to show you that it does come apart. So now we're actually gonna reassemble this thing, put the puzzle pieces back together. Okay, so we're gonna get these two side pieces. We're gonna place the Starlink. It's got a little groove here that the Starlink's gonna kind of sit on. And it is a really snug, pretty much perfect fit. Okay, just like that. Then we're gonna get this piece we just assembled and disassembled for no reason. Gonna kind of sandwich the Starlink. Get these bolts put back in. Okay, so now this Starlink Mini is now sandwiched in between these brackets from Veritas Vans. Now, This is where you kind of got to figure out your application in terms of what type of mounting feet you want to use. Again, you can use either suction cup mounts, or you can use the magnetic feet if your vehicle will work with these magnets. I think for right now, just for testing, I'm going to install these suction cup mounts. You've got 4 mounting spots for these feet on each end. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you just simply screw these into place. And the cool thing about these suction cups is it's got a little plunger on the end that you will pump to pull these things down to whatever you're attaching them to. So that's how it's going to be, why I say semi-permanently affixed. All right, guys, that is essentially it. So you're going to put this down onto the roof of whatever you're going to be attaching it to. Of course, take off these protector cups going over the suction cup, and you just pump these things up, and it's going to suck this thing down to your roof. In theory, we're going to test it out though. So that's basically how you put it together if you don't have this hail protector. This is, again, that hail protector. It's CNC milled. It's actually not 3D printed, so it's a little bit stronger. And the Starlink just kind of sits down perfectly in here. Pops into place just fine. And then we're going to lay this down right here and go and reattach all of our bolts. Okay, so I got the Starlink sandwich. This is the bottom of the Starlink. You got that black rectangle piece. This now the base. You got the complete full coverage, completely protecting the Starlink. So it is in there very well. I mean, it's sandwiched in there. It's not going to be going anywhere. So now we're just going to reattach all of these suction cup feet. That's the setup. This now can be installed. Basically, it can be installed on the side of your rig, on the roof of your rig. And another option that you have if you want to go this route, you don't have to mount this with the Starlink on the outside facing up. This hail protector actually has 4 places to attach either the suction cup mounts or these magnets. I don't think magnets would really work unless you put it on the inside of your van on the roof. That is another option. So all right, so let me get up here, top of the truck. And again, I've got the suction cup mounted feet because Fords are aluminum. So the magnets do not work for my particular application. So what we're gonna hope for is I can get these suction cups mounted in between these ridges, and it looks like we're gonna just make it. Sit here on my tent. Looks like this is gonna be my best bet here. And this is a dirty roof. I probably should have cleaned this up to get more suction going, but you just pump these things and you can see them just sink down. Make sure that white goes away on this little pump lever. And guys, this thing, I'm pulling my roof up. That is pretty cool. That is not gonna be going anywhere. Now, I'll be honest, I probably would not trust this going down the highway, but for my specific application when I'm parked at camp and if I have a clear view of the sky, this is a perfect area or perfect spot to mount it. I don't have to keep it on the ground. And now there's little nibs on these suction cups, and to get these things released, you just kind of push up on them and it releases that suction, and this thing pops right off. Pretty cool stuff. So obviously everyone's application is going to be different on how you mount your Starlink. For me, I don't need this going down the highway at speeds, but what would be great is my tent's back here. When I open up my tent, I've got a window here. I can be in my tent, unzip it, reach 2 feet onto the roof of my truck, put this Starlink on the roof of my truck, then run the power cord directly into my tent, directly into a power station, and I don't have to keep this Starlink mounted on a tripod on the ground at risk of someone tripping over the cord or backing up into my tripod. Don't want to mention anyone's name, Paula and Casey. So it keeps it off the ground, keeps the Starlink off the ground and pretty safe. And if a wind gust does come, these suction cups, you saw, it was pulling up the roof of my car. I'm not worried about it going absolutely anywhere. So I think it's pretty cool. And it would save me, and it would save you a little bit of money if you have like a Ford made out of aluminum. You don't need, if you're gonna mount it like this, you don't need the magnet. So that's gonna lower the price down to, I'm guessing, around 139, 149 bucks for this. And with the added protection of this hail protector, the entire Starlink is essentially protected. So I think it's a pretty cool little gadget from a USA company. Can't ask for anything more. So guys, of course, I'll leave a link for this down in the video below. But that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching.